Good morning. Hello. Welcome. Oh, it's chilly outside. Oh, it's chilly in here as well. I haven't turned the heating on yet. I was in such a rush this morning. Yes. Okay. Heating on. Heating on. Oh, how is everybody? How is everyone? This very chilly Sunday. Had an email to say I've gone live. That's good. It says there's 24 of you here, so hello, welcome. Just here, good morning from icy Nashville. Good morning. Oh my goodness, it is chilly, very chilly. Yeah, I'm running in so much behind that I haven't even taken my vitamins yet this morning, so let's get that done. Giant bloody horse pills of vitamins. I'm so that. I always struggle taking ones that are there. So, Trusting UK is here. Hello, Curly Swister. Hi, morning, Shannon Peeps. Hello, Jojo's here. Hello, hello. Nimue says hello, everyone. Hi. Agatha says good morning, everyone. Good morning. That was vitamin C. Joker Quee says, cold and tired, lol, probably won't stay long since I'm so far beyond exhausted today that I'm going to go crawl into bed shortly and attempt to sleep while being used as a heavy bag by Minion Man, lol. Yes, sleep is important. You need some sleeps. There we go. Vitamins ingested. That's good. Nimue says, yesterday I didn't get as much lazing on the couch in as I had planned, so I'm catching up today. Might to get some cutting sewing done later. Nice. Agatha says, I got a lie-in first time in weeks. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I tried to have a lie-in, but Chiana was having none of it. She was very, very adamant that I get up and start the day, so I did. I'm watching, I finished Bones. I am sad. I'm very sad. It's I think it's the third time that I've watched it all the way through. Maybe the second, but I think it's the third. I'm just watching the Gilded Age season 2 now, which I'm very much enjoying. And I'm probably going to go back to Angel because I kind of stopped Angel halfway through season 3. Season 3 and 4 are not my favorites, but season 5 of Angel is amazing, so I'm going to go back to that one then. Joker Cleese says, but I just couldn't miss the chance to throw in random pineapples and lemons at you before I did nod off. Lol. I found some of my favorite Irregular Choice shoes on a resale site, and I think you guys will approve of the color when I show that to you. Let's see if I can actually find the ones that I have purchased. There we go. Yes. I have bought, after my orange ones that I got myself for Christmas, these I have no excuse for buying, but I absolutely love them. So I have bought myself a yellow pair because they will go very well with this dress, for example. Even though this is actually lime green, it does have some yellow in it, and then it will go really well with the yellow cloth edit dress that I made, and then obviously all the lemony stuff that I have as well. So yeah, I bought some yellow shoes because I have no excuse. I have no reason. I just bought myself some yellow shoes. They were secondhand, and they were a lot less than the original price. So Yes, but I need them. I do need them. So now I have them. Let's see. Sonia says, good evening, Sean and everyone. We had a scorching 35 degrees centigrade day today here in Brisbane, Australia. So some sewing was done, but no pressing. Too hot for the iron. Yes. But I am very jealous. It's currently 15 degrees in here and it feels warm because it's very chilly outside. Christine says, morning everyone, from a cool and very wet South Lancashire, but at least the snow and ice is gone. Nice, yes. Jane says, morning all, quiet day for me, got a cold, first time for ages. Oh, you poor thing. I hope you feel better soon. Agatha says, I love bones. Me too. Me too. Janet says, morning, Sean and Peeps. Good morning. Love Joe Handmade says, morning all. You're keeping me company while I trace and cut out a Mimi blouse. I'm trying to make a Snow White Disney bounding outfit and thought this blouse would work well. Hope you're all well. That sounds like a very lovely idea. Agatha says, I'm watching Bull. I haven't got into that. I might try that one. I do like those kinds of shows. I did try and get into SWAT. Is that the new one that David Boreanaz did? I think it is. But I prefer a little bit of humor, and the first one was very serious. But yeah. And Ari says, good morning. No hot chocolate. No, I am out. I have exhausted my supply of hot chocolate until next month. I mean, there were some days that I had 2, so it's my own fault. But yeah, no, I haven't got any. Jojo says, life's too short for boring shoes. Buy them all. Oh, good grief. If I won the lottery, wouldn't tell anyone, but I would have an entire shoe room, and it would be a very large shoe room. There would be signs. Seal, thank you. SWAT is Sherman Moore. Yeah, Shamar Moore. Baby girl, yes. Thank you, Joker Cleese, David Boreanaz, SEAL team. I have tried to watch both of those, but I did find them very serious. And I want myself some humour. Mind you, Criminal Minds isn't exactly humorous, but it's not humorless either. Mind you, I don't know if I've given either of those other two enough time, but we all know that I like to rewatch stuff that I have watched in the past because it's good for my mental health because I know what's coming. Which is a ridiculous thing. Having said that, I've been watching The Gilded Age, like I say, and today's episode has had me in tears because of reasons. So yeah, I think it was episode 6 I was watching today of season 2. Yeah. Agatha says, I need to iron school uniforms for Little Miss. Good luck with that. Felicia's here. Hello, everyone. I got some sewing done this afternoon, making some lunch bags for your cousins going to school. It was 39 degrees Celsius here today. Oh, Agatha says, have you watched White Collar? Yes. Or Blacklist? No. White Collar, yes. Blacklist, hadn't even heard of it. I will have a look. Nimue says, we still have light snow lingering around, so I went grocery shopping with Mum yesterday because she does not feel safe driving in this weather. Yeah. Agatha says, same here for watching shows that you've seen before. And Ari says, I'm so sorry for you. No hot chocolate. I know. Carolyn says, happy Sunday, Sean and Peeps. You too. Agatha says, also, Mentalist is good. Yes, I liked The Mentalist, and I've watched that through 3 times. Joker Cleese says, well, for humour, I can always recommend the Red Green Show or anything with Canadian comedian extraordinaire Ron James. Ooh. Joker Cleese says, Numbers is a good one too. I liked Numbers, yes. I haven't watched that in ages. Agatha says, have you tried Galaxy hot chocolate? No, I don't like Galaxy chocolate. Sorry, not for me. Not my favourite. Right, so I fully intended to come down here a little bit early and get the room set up, ready for some tracing and cutting out action. And then I watched an episode of Gilded Age and cried, so I was late. Well, I wasn't late, but I wasn't early like I was intending to be, so I have not prepared. So we're going to prepare now. we are going to prepare now. Thank you for everybody that watched the sewing retreat video and has commented. I did get one comment saying that they couldn't find the prices, but they are, if you're watching this, they are listed in the description. And I double checked to make sure I hadn't left them off, but they are listed in the description of the blog post. You just scroll past the itinerary and then it takes you to the information, and then there's a header called prices where all the prices are listed. So lots of inquiries for next year's retreat, which is exciting. No, I don't want to unplug it from that end, do I? I want to unplug it from this end. I have found the interfacing that you guys were helping me find. I got it from Stitchy B has some, but she only has a little bit left over. So I actually found somebody that stocked or had a lot in stock, the Tailor Mouse, and it was Lynn that recommended those. Lynn from Aussie Blackbeard. So thank you very much, Lynn. And I have ordered some tailoring canvas. Ordered a little bit of that for perhaps the collar stands. And then I have ordered the weft interfusing from the Tailor Mouse. So that's on the way. So Mum will be happy. But I was thinking what I could do today would be start the tracing process for the coat. Although, having said that, I might cut out a Sorrento. I'm talking here. Let's get the table sorted first, so that I'm not just a pair of talking boobs, because as lovely as that is, it's not the usual you've all come for, is it? So, and we all know that I'm probably going to get the table put away and then end up fondling fabric or something, because we all know that I have the attention span of a gnat. So trying to do this without unplugging you, but I have unplugged you because my laptop battery is oh no, I've unplugged the phone, not unplugged you. That's good. Yeah, my laptop battery is not happy, and it has about a 10-minute life if it's not plugged in. So it's not the happiest of things. I really do need to get a new iPhone charger down here as well. Trying to move everything out of the way. Take the lock off of that. Oh, perfect jacket. Been watching a lot of her videos. It's weird. I watch her at 175 times speed. Like, I tried watching Philip DeFranco at that, and I accidentally left it on high speed when I was watching a Philip DeFranco, and it was just like, whoa! But yeah, she's got a very pleasant voice, but it is like a pace that it works better for me if I speed it up. So I've been watching a lot of her jackets sped up. A lot of her jackets, a lot of her videos sped up. Whilst I'm here, I wanted to have a look in this drawer, if I can get it open. I was absolutely convinced that I had lime green Swarovski crystals. I bought them but I don't. I have bought the rainbow Swarovski crystals. And I don't think they're the right. They're nice, but they're not the right colours for the green silk dress refashion. So I'm going to go with my other plan, which was green and black crystals for that. But I did want to check that whilst I had the drawer available. Got to get all the wheels pointing in the right direction on this. Moving everything around in here is always a bunch of fun. Oh, I'm covering up. I need pencils, tape, tracing, because that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully. Okay. There we go. Is there room in there for the chair? Let's just switch over a little bit. Oh, that was a lot of work, wasn't it? Okay. There we go. Right. I'm not sure that should be so much effort, but never mind. Move my piles of projects that I had fully intended to finish in January and have not remotely. Move those over. That can go away. Oh, you need a box to sit on, because otherwise you are at a very unflattering angle. Let's get you some boxes. Ooh. There you go. That's better. That was a lot of effort. Let's see. I haven't missed much of the chat though. That's good. Joker says, anyway, I'm spending more time attempting to swallow my face than actually watching, so that's my cue to take my leave and go to find my pillow. Sleep well. Agatha says, I'm so behind watching all YouTube videos. Don't worry, there are so many to choose from. Joker says, Nimue, you are in charge of pineapple jokes, so don't let me down. Lol. Felicia says, the process we're in the listing was talking to my hubby, and he said I should definitely go. Life's too short not to. Started looking at flights, if not this year, next year. Well, listen, prices, not process. The prices were in the listing. I thought they were. I double checked. I went back and had a look, and then I just said to the person that had commented that they couldn't find the prices, that it was listed under information and then the header prices. I'm going to sit down. Sorry, talking boobs again. Destroying things. Oh, look, that's my latest make. All the Patreon peeps have seen how that looks. Prices, not process. Yes. It is an awful lot of fun, Felicia. It really, really is. Where are you flying from? Because you want to look, if you can get a flight into Southampton, that's the closest, but I appreciate not many larger airlines fly to, or larger external flights fly to Southampton. So it would be Gatwick or Heathrow or Stansted or Luton. One of the London ones really is the closest. And Ari says, for Jackie, sweet dreams for a crate of pineapples and lemons. Nimoy says, what, me? I don't know any pineapple jokes. I'm barely awake. Fruit-related humour will have to be a community effort today, peeps. Assemble. Debbie says, good morning, peeps. Good morning. Agatha says, my sister lives near Southampton. Oh, awesome. Yes. That's one of the places that you can get from the mainland to the island. And Felicia says, I'll be coming from Sydney. Thanks. Was wondering what airport. Oh, from Sydney, you're definitely going to fly into Heathrow then. That's a long way to come. But you'll be very close to your sister, so you could come visit with her as well. But yeah, that's a very long way to come. But awesome. Awesome. The 2025 retreat will be the same week. I think the dates just change. It's the 28th to the 5th that year. So I'm going to confirm that with Fox Hills. I'm going to talk to Fox Hills and just double check that I can kind of schedule us in for that week. But yes, we have 6 places available on that retreat. So hopefully I can get 6 people that want to come. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I will postpone it to possibly the autumn, winter, or possibly till next year's one. I think I really need to have booked the places by the end of February. So yeah. But if not, it will be next year, because there's quite a few people that have said that they want it for next year. I thought 5 months advance notice, well, 6 months advance notice was enough, but I'm guessing if you're coming all the way from Australia, that's a fairly large logistical plan. And you will be the first person that's coming from the furthest. Seattle is the record so far, but you will win. So yeah. Tia says, morning, Shannon Peeps. Good morning. Felicia says, there are multiple ports at the Isle of Wight too. Yes, but if your sister lives in Southampton, you're going to want to come into Cowes, either of the Cowes ones. And I always, so there's Cowes, Ryde, and I want to say Lymington, but it's not. It is the freshwater, Yarmouth, Lymington to Yarmouth. So yeah, Yarmouth, Cowes, east and west, depending on if you're a foot or a vehicle passenger, and Ryde and where's the car ferry come into? Technically it's still Ryde, but it's a little bit further along. So yeah, Yarmouth is one of them, but you have to go to Lymington for that, which is in the New Forest. And if it's a further away, more difficult to get to, and it's a vehicle ferry only for Yarmouth. So I would recommend Southampton to Cowes, to one of the Cowes ones for you. And I put together a Facebook group beforehand for the attendees, so that we can kind of like coordinate people arriving, because in the past quite a lot of people have kind of met up at one of the ports, and so the people coming on foot have met up with somebody in a car, and then kind of made their way down together once they've got on the ferry together, kind of thing. So yeah. Let's see. Nancy says, good morning from Miami, Florida. I hear you talking about a retreat. Where can I find out more information? Nancy, it was the last video that went up on the channel. So the sewing retreat video, KB sewing retreat video. So I've got all the information in there. And also, if you have a look in the description of any of my videos, it links to my website, kittenishbehaviour.com, and the retreats is a header there. And all of the information, so like the itinerary, what to expect, what's included, prices, all the info is in the retreat. It says the retreats, and then so there's a big old post about it there. So yes, it's all there, Nancy. Inari says, for Nimue, I have you covered. Let's just say Joker Cleese will be dreaming of crates of pineapples and lemons. I don't know any jokes about pineapples and lemons either. Agatha says, New Forest is beautiful. It is indeed. We've taken the car ferry from the Yarmouth to Lymington a couple of times, and then driven through the New Forest and seen the ponies and things. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's not, unless you're going that way, it's not the easiest like main connecting ferry. So yeah. So Felicia says, okay, I'll have a look at it all. Thanks, you are welcome. Somebody else said they were going to girl math it. They were going to girl math it and then work out. Was that you? Was it you that was saying you were going to girl math it? Yeah. Mary says, hello from Carlisle, Ohio. Good morning. Felicia says, the flight time varies quite a bit. Such a long flight. Yes. Very, very long flight. A very long flight. Michelle says, morning, lovelies. Good morning. Rotten Ralph says, good morning, peeps. I'm here to report the rescue from behind the drawers inside my nightstand. Oh, nice. I'm here to report the rescue. What did you rescue? Am I being dim? Darcy, am I being dim? Right, okay. So the plan for today, try and sort my stuff out. Oh, your kitty, you rescued your kitty. Oh, was the kitty, is it a new kitty? Was it her kitty hiding? Girl math. Girls math. Felicia. It wasn't you though. Oh, who was it? It was somebody on the Peeps group, because I put up a post quite a while ago now about the next retreat, just asking for interest, and there was quite a few people interested, so I just linked everybody to the video. So yeah. Anyway, says, I picked my ferry based on where a bus from Heathrow went to at that time, planning a trip that with that many steps becomes a game of dominoes. Yes, 100%. And Darcy says her kitty had gotten stuck behind the drawers. Oh, bless. It's always amusing how they get themselves into such situations, and then they're like just meow at you, and they're like, "Mother, help!" Shiana was having a crazy night last night. She decided, I don't know what was going on, but she decided to do victory laps of the front of the house, and so she was just up and down the 2 flights of stairs, like, and then spider catting on the floor and looking at me, and then like yowling and running away again. And it's like, oh, okay. And Ari says, right now it's 42 degrees Fahrenheit and raining where I am. I think that's chilly. I think you're probably about the same degrees as we are. I'm up to 17 here. Darcy says the youngest kitty is the only one who has been small enough to get inside them. Oh, so cute. Nimue says this year we might be spending a few days in London before the retreat, so that'll be a shorter trip than that's getting home. Oh, I would 100% break it up if you can. I think Erica did the same. She booked a hotel for a couple of nights. I think she actually booked it at Heathrow because honestly, the train into the Piccadilly line into the centre of London, I think, is about 40 minutes from Heathrow. So, you know, it was like it's a tube train. So, you know, just sort of sit on it and good book or a good album, just listen to that and get yourself in and out. But then you're in the right place and you can leave your luggage there and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah. Agatha says, I think cats feel coming a storm. My 2 were going bananas. Oh, I don't know if we've got a storm predicted, but yeah, she was like, is it a full moon or something? She was all over the place last night, bless her. And Darcy says she didn't realise that she had gotten bigger. Oh, bless her. She got herself in and then she's like, I can't get out. Mother, help. Bless. Kitties are so cute. Okay. Okay, so I need to prep for this coat pattern, don't I? That's what I said I was going to do. I'm going to put away this shirt pattern as well because that needs to go away, except I think I've covered up. Is it shirts that are down here or knitted tops? Yeah, that's knitted. So that's not where that lives. Keep moving things around and then forgetting where I've put moved something's new home to. But I do very much like my new shirt. Like it a lot, even though I don't wear shirts very often. That's all the fabric I had. I could have made a 5951, but I don't think I'd realised that at that point. And also, how many 5951s does one person need? Apparently quite a few, because I have got quite a lot of fabric for those. Tops. Yes, tops. What is the name of that sew over it top? I don't know if it'll be in here. Sew over it. Ella, the Ella blouse. That was it. I was talking to the Peeps at the Zoom call the other night, and I was talking about the wrap over, sew over it top that I'd made. And Caroline was saying it was the Anderson, and I have got that one and I have made that one, but it was the Ella blouse that I was talking about. But I've only ever made that in knits, even though it's not actually designed for knits. So Mum is going to make another 9076, and she's going to do it with this Lady McElroy viscose. They're very kind. So I think you guys will remember, but I worked on the stand at the Festival of Quilts, the Lady McElroy stand, for a couple of days in 2022, and Mum came with me. We went a little bit early on 2 days, and Mum helped fold fabric remnants one morning, and they very kindly said, "Oh, thank you so much. Please pick something." And Mum chose this one. I can't remember what this one is called, but it has herons or cranes all over it. I think they're cranes, aren't they? And she'd like a 9076 from it, because I was fully intending to do that sew along this week, but my little brain and new medication said no, so I didn't. So fingers crossed that all starts picking up and sorting itself out. I've been told that it can take up to sort of 6 months to normalize dosages and levels on this new stuff, which will be fun. We will get there. It'll be fine. I'm so excited about this coat. I'm actually thinking that I might decorate this coat as well. I know I'm going to do my velvet coat with these motifs. But I'm actually thinking I might sew some on, because it's not super in your face. It will be much more obvious on the other, on the lighter green velvet. But I've got a thing about these motifs and stupid tights. These motifs and green fabric, because my last green coat that I made, I put them on as well. And I'm thinking on the collar, I'm not sure I'm gonna put the pocket flaps onto this coat, because I've seen them on a lot of the ones made up and I don't overly like them. But I'm going to cut them out and try and see. But I'm thinking, yeah, the motifs on this collar there, if I do put the flaps on there, if not, just across the pocket to give it some decoration. And then on the centre back, which doesn't actually have a centre back seam, but like in there as well, I think that could look really nice. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking I might do, because I have a lot of those. I bought 20 pairs and I think I've used 2 so far. So I have more than enough for the green velvet coat. I have spaced them out and double checked that, and I have more than enough for the green velvet coat. So using a couple on this one would look quite nice, and I do like them. I think they're pretty. So possibly catch up with the chat. Caroline says we have a named storm tonight, high winds apparently. Oh, maybe that's why she's going nuts then. Yeah, I had no idea we had a name store, but then I very rarely watch the news because it's not good for my mental health. I do consume news, but I get it from specific sources that break it down in a way that makes it understandable for me. And also, it's not biased, or at least he's as unbiased as he possibly can be, which I like. He tries to give both sides of the argument, which I think a lot of other news outlets don't do. Let me just check you're plugged in. Yes, you're plugged in. Where did I get to with the chat? Felicia says, was thinking I should add on seeing that fabric street you went to with a group of people. Well, I mean, we've already got Nimue and her friend coming from Germany, and if they're staying an extra couple of days in London, and then I get some, because there's a couple of other people that are thinking of coming in from abroad as well. So I could be persuaded to join you guys up in London for a little bit of Goldhawk Road shopping, perhaps, possibly. So yes, but yes, no, you definitely, if you're coming on this way, you definitely need to go to the Goldhawk Road, 100%. Darcy says, it woke us up and we had to take the pry bar to the backing board on some very solid and well-built furniture. Oh, bless it. Nimue says to Felicia, yes, Goldhawk Road is on our list as well. I went years ago, but my friend hasn't been. We're also likely to go to the V&A. Amazing. Yeah, Darcy says, I'm stressed and hyper-focused. She's trying to get back into the nightstand. Oh, bless her. Agatha says to Darcy, poor kitty. And Ari says, my latitude is 47 degrees by 122 degrees longitude. I'm afraid that basically around the Seattle area. Right. That means more to me than latitude and longitude. Darcy says, silly kitty is playing. Oh, bless it. Nimue says, I'm being lured away for food. See you later. Enjoy. Olivia says, good morning from 0 degrees Iowa. Darcy says to Agatha, she is being very helpful for our furniture declutter, which we can't afford to do. Oh, bless her. Erin says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Agatha says to Darcy, both are trying to help with that too, even though they are older. Ripper is 14 and a half years old and he loves to mess with things. Oh, bless. Caroline says, a Goldhawk Road trip would be fun. Let's meet up. Michelle says, can we make the Goldhawk Road part of my future retreats too? I'm building my list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rotten Ralph says, Anya is 11, Jane is our only boy and is 9, and Eliza Bits is 3. Cute. And Ari says, I'm actually lucky to be awake at this hour, yet I love the sound of the rain on my roof. Yes. And Pam says, good morning. Good morning. Right, I'm going to do the thing that I do and get the instructions out and make a list of all the bits that I want, which will probably be all of them, because in all honesty, there's only one style of coat in here. Oh my gosh. 20 pieces. 20 pieces. Bodice back, skirt back, skirt front, 4 flap, 5 upper pocket, 6 upper pocket facing, 7 skirt side front, okay, 8 under pocket, yes, 9 bodice front, yes, 10 front interfacing. Ooh, separate piece for interfacing, and 10A is the extension for that. Ooh, I like it. Oh, okay, yes. 10 and 11 is upper sleeve and under sleeve. And they have separate linings for this as well. Oh, that's lovely. 13 is the buttonhole placement. Oh no, 13 is just buttonholes. Okay. 14 bodice front facing. Yep. And 15 is skirt front facing. 16 is front lining. 17 bodice backlining, 18 skirt backlining, 19 is upper sleeve lining, and 20 is undersleeve lining. I very much like that they have given us separate pieces for the lining of this. I like that a lot. Okay. So you can still do the coat pocket without the flap. The flap is decorative, it's not integral, which is good. Oh, okay, so they want us to do bound buttonholes, which is good because I'm probably going to do those. But they want us to do the bound buttonholes in that way, which I'm probably not going to do because I don't like that way. I'm going to do the other way. Okay, so yes. Okay. So they've done the same thing as well, where the coat is longer than the lining, and you're meant to turn the bottom edge of the coat up and ease it in. Is that what they want us to do? Open out facing, turn him up. Yeah, they want us to just fold up the hem of the coat and ease it in to meet the facing, and then when are you hemming the lining? Okay, and then okay, you're basting it to, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to draft a hem facing. I'm going to draft a hem facing because that's how I prefer to finish the hems of my coat, especially when they have anything of a curve in them, because you do have to ease the hem of a larger circle into a smaller circle, and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. I don't have to do bound buttonholes. I can still do faux buttons and press studs, which I think I might do. I know, very lazy, but there's less chance for things to go wrong. I will practice. I will try some bound buttonholes, and again, I've done them before, and I like how they look, but I also very much like press studs. We shall see. We shall see. So I need to do trace all pieces basically, which kind of new going in. Now we need to work out sizing. What size bundle did I buy? It's up to a 14, which should be fine. I'm going to do a sew along for this. Lots of you guys have asked for a sew along for this one. Hopefully it'll be fine. We shall see. We shall see. Agatha says, I love rain too, and wind. Darcy says, I love the rain. I like the rain as long as I'm warm inside. You know, if you're cozy inside, then rain is awesome. Agatha says, uniform's done. Time to cut out one of my make 9 makes. Nice. Fox says, hello, Shannon Peeps. Hello. Rotten Ralph says, I'm trying to have a lay down and my entire nightstand is upended on the bed. Bless. Nari says, for Agatha, it's nice to know I'm not the only one who loves the rain. However, Not the wind so much. The wind causes power outages. Yeah, no. Agatha says hi to Vox. Darcy says, and I'm in Central Florida, so I am in full agreement about the wind. Julie Elizabeth says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Vox says, hello to Agatha. I hope you're feeling better today. Agatha says to Inari, you are the first person I met in a long time who likes rain. I actually love walking in the rain. Not a fan of being in the rain. But I do like being adjacent to the rain with a roaring fire kind of thing. Una says, hi, Sean and Peeps. Hello. Agatha says, Vox, headache is still lingering in the back of my head, but I got to lie in, so a bit better. That's good. Vox says to Agatha, I am much better, but also on the 4th day of this curse. Oh, you guys. And Eri says, another common denominator I have with Rotten Ralph, cats sewing. Stephanie Canada. I actually saw your name in Stephanie Canada's comment section yesterday. Love it. Lisa says, hi, Sean. Hi, all. I give my evidence in court tomorrow, but the decision has been made. All my granddaughters will be forcibly adopted. I'm in severe distress. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sal says, g'day, Sean and Peeps. I hit 41 and completed short stories today. Awesome. Darcy says, Inari, I love Stephanie Canada, not the country. Vox says, I love looking at rain when I am inside. Yeah, same. I need to be warm and toasty. So, yeah. Agatha says to Lisa, I'm so sorry. How are your grandchildren? And so just waiting for a reply for that one. So let me write out this list. 1, 6, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and A, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and A, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Darcy says, Lisa, gentle hugs. And Lisa says to Agatha, the eldest is 4 years old, 20 months and 8 months. And Agatha says, oh, they're so small. They are. I mean, there's nothing I can say to make anything any better, but we are here for you if you want an escape and to just, I mean, not forget, obviously, because that's impossible, but just have somewhere to be. We are very much here for you. Oh, so many pieces. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. Now I need to find the pieces with the measurements on. There's one piece with measurements. What is this? Bodice front. That is the bust. 12, 14. So it's saying that this has got 4 inches of ease at the bust. Okay. Now I want the waist. Where would that be? Where would that be? Okay. Some sleeves. 14 has a 14.5 inch finished measurement for the bicep. Let's see. Fox says to Lisa, nothing we can say can help. That's awful. Hugs. Lisa says, thank you, Sean. Thank you, everyone. As I say, we're here for you. I know there's nothing that we can say to make it anything better, but if you want to just hang out and chill with us, we are always here. Inari says, I know, yet I do love the joke. Somehow I have a distinct feeling Canada is not her maiden surname. No. Darcy says, Inari, I think you are correct. Lisa says, sorry, I'm not much company, so I'm going to head off. I will watch the live back later. Feel free to hang out in the background, Lisa. You don't have to chat. You can just be here if you would like to be. That is totally fine. Okay, yeah, that's going to be enough. Because I'm measuring over my big cardigan. Because I want to be able to wear, I mean, this is the biggest thing that I would wear under that kind of a coat out. So that's fine. Still looking for waist measurements. Ooh, what have we got here? Bust or waist? I think you might be hips. There's the waist. Okay. Honestly, I think I'm going to just do a straight size 14. But 28, 29, 30, 31. It's got 3.5 inches of ease, 4 inches at the bust, 3.5 inches of ease at the waist. How can I take this in a little bit more just to give me more shaping at the waist? Probably just take the darts in a little bit more and the side seams in a little bit more rather than trying to do anything else, because of this. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be my best bet. Just trace a size 14 and then tweak at the side seams rather than try and do anything else. I think. Agatha says, big hugs to Lisa. Fox says, I found some Vogue patterns secondhand on Vinted, Vogue 9202 and 9239. Nice simple ones, but 1862 has very interesting style lines. I've never seen this pattern before. Okay, we need to have a look at that. Oh, hello. I can stand up straight, honest gov. I have no idea how I'm going to get through making this coat. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Vogue 1862. Let's have a look. Ooh, images. Oh, interesting. It's got a nice neckline. I like that. Hang on, let me visit. Got it. Yes. So look at the line drawings, please. Oh yeah, they're interesting. I like that waist shaping. Yeah, I like that. I've not seen that one either. Very nice. Monica says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Darcy says, morning to Monica. Agatha says, or grade between patterns or do a full bust adjustment on a small size. Oh, so it says it's got 3.5 inches at the waist. Also, I really don't want to start. Okay, so you guys have asked for so long for this coat, and I don't want to start messing around with full bust adjustments on pattern pieces. I mean, to be fair, it is just sort of like manipulating the dart, but I don't. So you guys know I'm not an expert. I am not remotely an expert, and I managed to get most of my big four patterns to fit me the way that I want to by fudging it, and that is generally what I do. So I'm really lucky that the block that McCall's, Butterick and Vogue use fits me really well, which I know is not the case for everybody, and it's definitely not going to be the kind of sew along where I can talk you through, because some people do sew alongs where they talk you through every single adjustment and it's amazing, like absolutely amazing, but I am not technically capable or able to do that time wise. as well as skill level wise. I can show you the adjustments that I would do for myself. I find that also the size 14 fits me really well in the shoulders, which is kind of the thing that I want to keep. So the fact that it then fits my bust and it's just a bit big on my waist works for me, because then I just nip it in where I need to at the waist. This is yeah, this is the trouble with doing sew-alongs. Like, I feel like a bit of a fraud, because it's like I'm not maybe necessarily showing you the correct way of doing something, but like I say, if you end up with a result that you like, however you got there is the right way to go. And so I don't mind showing you my process and how I do something, but it's not going to be like necessarily a highly skilled tailor's, like, let's fit this to our bodies and make it perfect, correct way, if that makes sense. And now I'm second guessing myself about if I want to do this or not. It's so long. Yes, I could do a full bust adjustment. Yes, I could grade between sizes, and usually I would, but there is a lot of seaming and specific pieces in kind of like at the underbust and the waist, and I need to lengthen it anyway as well. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the size 14 and tweak the waist as I want, because also the other thing is as well, the this muslin is going to be for Mum, and Mum is basically the same size as me at the moment. Her bust is a little smaller, her waist is a little bit bigger, but the way she likes her clothes to fit on her, I can make something that's very fitted on me, and it will fit Mum the way that she likes her clothes to fit. So the size 14 is pretty good for her shoulders as well as her waist and a bust and waist. And the hips on this one, the finished measurement is 53 inches, so that's going to work for both of us. Yeah. Una says, I'm back, got interrupted. Welcome back. Fox says, the fabric they use does not show the lines well. No, it does not. That's why I like to look at the style lines. Inari says, about 26 years ago, I actually jumped into a puddle like a little kid at a bus stop. I felt wonderful. Every now and then I would jump into the nearest puddle for sheer funsies. Yes, why not? Una says, I'm measuring and writing down ideas for some new fabric, lots of wools, gifted to me because of a family member of my hubs passed away last November. She was quite petite, so mainly short lengths. Interesting. Darcy says, Inari, splashing in puddles is mandatory on rainy walks. Yes, especially if you have wellies on. Box says to Inari, that does sound like a lot of fun. It is an intrusive thought when I see a puddle, but I don't dare to get wet. Inari says, for Lisa, bear coffee donuts. Lots of cuddles, lots of good thoughts for Lisa. Yes. Catherine says, hello all. Hello. Una says, but can do a skirt cropped jacket for most of them. Looking into using acid dyes to make some of the lighter colour ones more me. Has anyone done this? I need a big pot I can use on the stove. I got my giant pot from IKEA. They have some really big ones. They work really well. Agatha says, there is no bad or good way in sewing, in my opinion. Everyone should do what works for them. Sorry, I got you confused. Go with your first plan. No, it's fine. And I agree with you. Like, everybody absolutely should go whatever way you get to your end result. If you like it, then that is the correct way of achieving that result. I think that's one of the things that I've maybe kind of like got in my head a little bit about my sew-alongs is I do get, obviously the more people that watch, the more people are going to comment, which is a good thing, and all interaction is good. That's not, it's not the end of the world. But I do get people every now and again, like there was one, the sew-along for the 8145, which is that really nice but very simple knit top, and the point of that was making the pattern work for you. but the actual sewing of it was incredibly simple. So I didn't show any of the sewing of the straight lines of stitching. The bit that I did show was when there was some technique in the sewing. So it was the same technique as getting a stretch neckband into a neckline on a stretch garment. So it's the same for the waistband. I quartered it again, and then showed how I sewed it on the overlocker from start to finish, talking the whole way through doing that. But that was the only actual sewing that I showed in that sew along. And I got a comment on it the other day from somebody just saying, sew along for a pattern with no sewing shown. What a stupid thing to do. And it was just like, I watched it back because I was like, oh, maybe you have a point. But I showed all the pattern manipulations that I'd done and the sizing, because that thing had 7 inches of ease at the waist, and it was just like, it shows as a fitted garment on the envelope. So I showed all the changes that I did to the pattern to get it to look like the envelope. And then, as I say, every single bit of sewing was sewing a straight line. There was no tricky bits in it except for getting the waistband to fit into the main body of the jumper. So I showed that in detail of how I do it and how I made it fit, and it worked. So I showed that sewing process. And for me, with the sew-alongs, I genuinely don't think you need to see me sew a straight line of stitching. If there's a specific like technique that I do with my fingers or my hands, like when I put bias binding on, for example, then I will show how I actually stitch it. I will do and I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know all of you guys know this. But yeah, I will show you like a close-up of me stitching it, because I have a technique with my fingers of like how I do the thing to get the bias binding to lie flatly. For me, that's how it works for me. But I just don't see the point in showing and filming and having to set the camera up to show a straight line of stitching being sewn. I just don't see the point. Like, even I don't show sewing the darts, but I will show you once the dart is sewn, I will put it in front of the camera and I'll show that it's backstitched at the beginning. I've sewn off the end. I will tie 3 knots, trim the excess thread off. And I show that bit because that's how I like to finish darts. There are loads of ways to finish darts. I saw somebody the other day actually pull up the bobbin thread on their machine to the point that it was long enough that they could then sew the dart from the tip, and the bobbin thread and the top thread then locked together, and there was no backstitching, no knotting, anything needed, and they backstitched the end of the dart, and it was brilliant. I'm not going to do that because it's a lot of faff, and I really like the way that I do it. But yeah, I get comments on all of my sew-alongs with some kind of critique or criticism of how I've done something, which again, I'm not saying my way is the correct way, because as long as you get to the end result that you like, however you get there is the right way, because you've enjoyed the process and you've ended up with something that you enjoy the end result of as well. But I think that's what's gotten in my head about my sew-alongs, is that whenever I put one out, somebody else is always doing well, that's not the right way, you should do it this way. And it's not every comment, I know that, and it's not everybody, and there are so many people that do appreciate and watch my sew-alongs and enjoy them and say thank you, and that's amazing. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being super, super, super thin-skinned about it all. But I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that, because my stupid brain and lets the intrusive thoughts come in of like, well, maybe they have a point. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. And yeah. It's like lots of people have asked for a sew-along for this coat, and I am going to change a few things about it, because there are a few interfacing pieces that I'm going to add that they haven't got, that the book recommends. And again, the book, I bought the book and I recommend the book and I show other people which book it is. I'm not gatekeeping, like, this is the book I use, this is how I get the results that I've achieved. And you know, it's something that I have paid for, and it's something that other people can pay for, and it's not something that I'm like, oh, let me steal the knowledge and give it away for free, kind of thing. But I'm not trying to say that you can't have that knowledge. I'm just saying, look, this is where I got it from, by the book. It's amazing. So you know, I do feel kind of strange about that, because I will be taking techniques from that book for extra interfacing pieces around the collar and the top. So that kind of makes me feel a bit odd. The hem facing, loads of you guys have asked for a tutorial on the hem facing, and I'm going to do that because it makes sense. It's something that I didn't learn from anyone else. It's something I came up with. I'm sure I'm not the first person to invent this. I'm not saying that I am, but it came from my brain. It was like, ooh, I could finish this in this way, and that would work really well for me. And so I'm happy to kind of like talk you through that process and how I came up with the idea and how I execute it and what it ends up looking like and how you put it together and how you do it for yourself. It's not groundbreaking. It's just, you know, it was just like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, if I did it this way, then I wouldn't have to deal with the turning up and the easing in and the hem not being a hem that I like. And like I say, it's, you know, it's not my idea. Loads of other coats do this, and I've seen it on other coats and just thought, oh, that would work for this one. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are also trying to be helpful, but and we've talked about this before, like getting your opinion across in the written format is very difficult to do in maybe the tone that you mean, and maybe they're just trying to be helpful and not condescending or rude. And I'm just reading it in a certain way, and I'm just being super, super kind of like um, sensitive about it. But yeah, I don't know. Agnes says there is no bad or good way in sewing, in my opinion. Everyone should do what works for them. Sorry, I got confused. No, that's again. I've read that one already, haven't I? But yeah. Love Joe Handmade says, even if it's not fitting the correct way for you specifically, it's still useful to see the techniques in action. Monica says, there is no right or wrong way. What I learn most from you is how you adjust for you, which teaches me to fit myself trying your way. And that has changed how my clothes fit. I appreciate your way. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Agatha says, wearing wellies is cheating. It's not a properly rainy walk unless your socks are wet. Oh no, I hate that. I went for it. I had to walk home the other day from an appointment, and it was after we had a lot of torrential rain here on the island, and so the park that I usually walk across was like an inch of like extra water in it, and I ended up with soggy wet feet, and it was horrible, and I hated it, and yeah, it was not good. Do not like wet socks. No. Sal says, my 41st story was inspired by walking to the shop and a couple of leaves on the ground looking like they were following me. I like that. It makes me think of The Happening. Careful of those trees. Una says, oh, thanks, Sean. I'll check IKEA out. Yeah, I got a giant one from them. And it wasn't ridiculously expensive. Inari says, to Rotten Ralph, absolutely, providing you can still do it. If I take my crutches, maybe I can jump in with one foot. I'd rather not be seen with my crutches. And Darcy says to Agatha, if you jump in with your wellies on, your socks will get wet. Agatha says, my wellies are knee length and fitted. Nothing gets into them. They sound like my kind of wellies. Churn Dash says, I fast forward through straight stitching. Yeah, again, I do too. I don't need to see it. And if you are at the stage where you need to see straight seams being stitched, then the sew-alongs that I'm putting out are probably not the kinds of not saying that anything I do is advanced remotely, but they're definitely not beginner friendly, like 100% beginner, never picked up a sewing needle before friendly. I've got a few of those, but I tend to wear stuff that's got more moving parts in it, as it were. So yeah, if you have to see straight stitching, it's probably not the sew along for you. Yeah. Ineri says, really? Why? Darcy says, Ineri, I was just thinking about my wheelchair in the rain, pebbles or just go really fast. Catherine says, member of the choir here, usually only listed to the preaching with half an ear unless it's really good. Harlequins, Q, morning all, tag team Joker please, because the little one is up. Now he's chatting at the screen, giving his 2 cents about Sean not doing so long. I agree about not showing straight lines. I mean, honestly, if you don't need it. Yeah. Agatha says, Lisa from Thoughtfully Creative did that a while ago with the bobbin. Yeah, it was really clever. I like that technique for doing a dart. I'm never going to do it though, because I love the way that I do darts and it works for me. And that's the point, is that's why I never show myself sewing in an invisible zip, because whenever I do, I always get people say, you should do it this way, and link to that Threads, and I always get his name wrong, Kenneth King or Kenneth Cole article. And his way is amazing. And my sister-in-law is actually giving me a hemostat. She's given me the thing. I know Lynn uses that method and loves it. And it's great. It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. It's not how I like doing it. So I do it my way. And anytime I show me doing that, I always get people tell me that I'm doing it wrong and it should be done this way. And it's just like, no, I end up with a result that I like this way, and I know what I'm doing this way, which is why I want to do it this way. So yeah. Just seeing Catherine's comment, Magpie Sewist here. I pick up what I like and ignore what I don't. Yes, definitely. Catherine, I've read that one. Darcy says, skipping pebbles across the pond, across a puddle. Ooh, it's a big puddle if you can skip stones on it. Monica says, stay in control of your channel. Obviously, you're amazing since we're all here watching. One-offs will always chirp. Yes. Yes. And my stupid brain needs to not pay attention to that. My stupid brain is, I think somebody's mentioned imposter syndrome. Yeah. My stupid brain is constantly doing that. It's like, nope. It's like, stop it. You are actually good at what you do. Well, theoretically. Catherine says, distracts intrusive brain with chocolate. Yeah. Darcy says, imposter syndrome is, yeah. Harlequins Q says, with almost 30k worth of subscribers, I think it's safe to say that we enjoy your take on how to sew. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And genuinely, the majority of comments and interactions I have are super positive and amazing and lovely. And yet my stupid brain latches onto the ones that are mean, because I think it's just that thing where you have the thing in the back of your head just being like, oh, maybe they've got a point. You were worried about this. And I'm just like, I need to stop it because I'm getting in my own way. Yeah. So I'm thinking, and Agatha, I'm not in any way like directing any of my like negativity at you at all. Your suggestion to do a smaller size and do a full bust adjustment is a very good one. And if the shoulders of the size 14 don't fit me, I might well do that. So do a size 12 at the shoulders and then either grade to a 14 at the bust and back to a 12 at the waist. Mind you, the finished measurement for the 12 at the waist was 29.5 inches, which will probably be too tight for mum. And it might be too tight for me. Mind you, saying that, my red coat I love, and I think it's a little big on me, which it's not at all. And it has the wonderful shaping in it. And it's just, I don't know. Why is my brain so horrible to myself? Like, I wouldn't tolerate anyone else talking to anyone else on this channel the way that my brain talks to me sometimes. So, yes. And Ari says, maybe with my bad foot, I kick some water around. Darcy says, it's about the splashing. And Honore says, splashing. Yes. Linnea's here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Darcy says to Sal, the leaves are shady. Watch the leaves. Again, it makes me think of The Happening. I think I've got the name of that. It's the M. Night Shyamalan video where the film where the trees start killing everybody. Mother Nature gets its own back. Nicola says some people. And Ari says, unfortunately, imposter syndrome is a problem most successful women suffer from. Yeah. I mean, even to the point where, again, I still haven't done a flick through of this. Would you guys still be interested in this? Even to the point where I have done that as my opening page for my diary. Because apparently I need to remind myself of it daily. So I love the snakes. The snakes are awesome. I've got some inspirational quotes in here, but then I also have quotes like, let me see if I can show you this one because I've started filling this page out. I don't think there's anything in there that you guys can't see. Just cover that bit up. But that's one of my favorite quotes as well. Yeah, let's just show you the quote. There we go. Yep. That one makes me giggle. And then there's another one. I liked that one. And then I really love these snakes, but I liked that quote as well. So yeah, maybe I need to do a flick through of this, don't I, for you guys? It's not going to be the standard bullet journal, kind of like, because most people don't set up an entire year in one go, but I kind of have to do it that way. Oh. Look at that one. And look at those dragons. That one always makes me giggle. And then look at these cats. Freud was mostly discredited, but I do like that quote. Oh, look at the kitty. So yeah, most people don't set their bullet journals up the way that I do. And I'm not saying mine's the right way to do it, but I just know that if I did it month by month, it wouldn't get done because I've proved that to myself in the past. And if I have to have more than one book for a year, I don't like it because I have collections at the front of, so this year I've got fabrics that I've bought, only one so far, and then things that I've made, and then I've got another space for alterations. And I want to have that in my, I want to have like a record of my whole entire year, like I did with this one. So I tried decorating this differently to how I did the last one, and I didn't like the decorations in this one at all. So I actually ended up not using this one very often, but I'm very happy with the decorations in my new one, in this one. So I think I will do a flip through for that, because I've picked some pretty things and I like how it goes together. So yeah. Let's see, where did I get to? Nimoya says, hello, I am back. Don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Oh, yes, please. There's 100 of us and 46 likes. Nicholas says, just a thought. Do you ever try the other methods that are suggested just to see if they're better or easier? It can be very good to be open to other methods. I enjoy your sewing. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've tried that. Like I say, my sister gave me a hemostat and I've tried that one, but it's not second nature to me because the way that I put invisible zips in is something that I've just done for so long that when I tried this other method, it's a lovely method, but it's something that I have to think about. And like what goes next, and my way is just second nature now. And then the dart method with the pulling the thread through. My machine has sensors in it, and if you play around with the bobbin, it starts not sewing. So I haven't tried that one. I think it's amazing. I love how it looks. It's a brilliant idea, 100%. Haven't tried it on my machine, and I don't think I will, because I don't want to mess up the sensors. And also I like the way that I sew darts. But yeah, 100%, Nicola, like completely open to trying other methods. And if I see something that somebody's doing and I'm just like, ooh, that's a really good idea, I will try that. And I do. And then I pick and choose the ones that I like the most. But for me, like I say, my favorite way of sewing in an invisible zip is very different to the threads way. And I like my way, and it works for me, and I don't have to think about it because I've just been doing it that way for so long. So yeah, 100%, like definitely be open to other methods, not in any way saying that mine is the best or only way, but it's the best way for me and how my brain works and how I make things. It's like my obsession with French seams and fully lining things. I bought down, so I've washed my viscose here. So I've got 20 meters of viscose again, and I have brought down my 8177 that I did a half lining in, and I hated it. So I'm actually going to cut out the skirt portion of the pattern pieces out of the white viscose, sew it to this, and then I will have a fully lined dress that will get worn more often, because I really didn't like how this came out, but I wanted to try it. And usually what I would do is have a dress with a waist seam in it so that I could sew this down completely, but this does not have a waist seam and I didn't want visible stitching, so I have just tacked it to the seam allowances all the way around, and I don't like it. So I tried it, not for me. Whenever I make this dress again, because I absolutely love this dress, and I have promised you guys a sew along for turning it into a dress with a centre back zip and a waist seam and then whatever skirt you want. When I do that, when I make it again, I'm going to do a sew along for that one. But yeah, I now know that I need to cut a full lining for this dress, and it'll be French seamed, and still will, the skirt will be French seamed as well. It's just my preference on how I like my clothes to be finished on the inside, and I know it's not for everybody, and a lot of my videos are me being like, okay, this is how you do a lining for the thing. And Nimue and a couple of others suggested a video of you called it something like finishing before you start, and trying to work out why I pick the seam finishes for the pieces that I do. And it's a really good idea. I'm also going to do a how to fin. I hate facings, absolutely hate facings, but they do have their place, and sometimes you need to do that. So for this one, for example, I went with the facing. I have done this shirt fully lined. That's because I made it out of a ivory viscose that was sheer, and I wanted sheer sleeves, but I didn't want a sheer bodice. So I basically did 2 layers for the body of the shirt and then did 1 layer for the sleeves. But for this one, I didn't have the fabric to fully line it, and it doesn't need it. So I've done a facing, and then I have faced my facing, which there is a tutorial for. But I thought I would do a video on how I would finish facings, different methods of finishing facings. So facing your facing, bias binding, both made from the fabric or store bought, overlocker, pinking, and how to finish those neatly and make them look neat. And you all know the reason I do all these things on the inside of my garments is because I was terrified of my overlocker for 5 years. Bought one, spent a lot of money on it, nearly £1,000 on this overlocker, and left it sitting on the side because I was just like, I don't know how to use it. It has a blade and it might cut me. So no, scared. And so I had to come up with all these other ways of finishing the insides of my garments to have them finished nicely so that they could be washed and not disintegrate and fall apart, because my old ones, no finishing on the insides. And that's why I've come up with my love of French seams and bias binding or fully lining things and enclosing things. It's not that I'm against overlockers. I just use them only on knit projects, and very, 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 very infrequently on woven fabrics that want to disintegrate as soon as you look at them. I've got a black chenille, what is actually a curtain fabric. I made a coat for a lady out of this stuff, and as you can see, it wants to disintegrate the second that you look at it. So this one, I had to run all the pieces through the overlocker before I even started sewing that one. Otherwise it would have literally fallen apart. But I very, very rarely use the overlocker on wovens, and it's just, again, preference. And I think that's the lovely thing about sewing, is that there are so many ways of trying different things out, techniques, and you can pick and choose. Like Catherine was saying, you can pick what you like and ignore the rest. And that's one of the things I love about this. I get very bored very easily in jobs where I have to just repeat the same thing over and over again. That's one of the reasons I really liked working in a casino, was because, yes, we were playing, or I was dealing the same game over and over, but blackjack, it's never the same game from spin to spin. There's always new winning numbers, there's always new payouts, there is, you know, controlling the game, the different bets available and things like that. So I found that fascinating and really interesting. So whilst I was doing the same thing day after day, it was different. And that's one of the things I love about this, is that, yes, theoretically, I'm basically, if you boil it down, sewing every single day. Not every single day, but you know what I mean. But it's always different. There's always new things to learn and adjust and take on and tweak and use to your advantage. So, yeah. So I'm getting very reflective today, aren't I? Love Joe Handmade says, you're not good at what you do. Good, you're fantastic, or we wouldn't all be listening to you chat for ages on a Sunday morning and watch endless quantities of your video content. Thank you so much. Thank you. Darcy says hello to Linnea. Sal says, in the story, the creature entered our universe on a lightning bolt and hit the leaf on the way down, becoming the leaf. The leaf then tries to get back home. Oh, it's like Finding Nemo, but leaves. Sorry. It's just my brain is basically Disney. Olivia says it's human nature to focus on the negatives because somewhere deep inside we question ourselves about that very thing. Yeah, totally. That's what my brain does. My brain is very mean to me. And I shouldn't let it be mean to me. Darcy says, so to Sal, so it's not like the leaves are staging an uprising. Olivia says, the older I get, the more I realise that I don't care what anyone thinks about me. Yeah, I'm not sure because I've started getting a bit snarky for people that are mean to me in the comments. I've started replying back to them so that they get my reply and then blocking them so that they can't, so we don't get devolve into arguments. And I usually find that funny. There's very few that have like really upset me. Like the eyebrow comment. I mean, I pay a lot of money to have my eyebrows look like this, so it kind of made me laugh, and that's why I shared it, because it was funny. And I also blocked the person's name because it's just like, you know, there's obviously something going on in their life that they're not happy about. They feel that they need to like lash out at somebody else about their appearance. And a comment that I've had from my last 2 exes actually was about how I dress. And it wasn't necessarily negative, but the few times that I wore jeans, they would just be like, oh my God, I never seen you wear jeans, so you look normal. It's like, normal? Is normal the word that you really want to use there? So yeah, I'm a weird, I mean, I think everybody's a weird contradiction, aren't they? I'm very happy in myself. I like how I look. I mean, I want to maybe lose a little bit of weight because I put a bit of weight back on, and now some of the clothes that I made last year I can't fit into, the Grace dresses specifically, and I love those. But then I also want to eat the chocolate, and so I do. And I want to wear the bright, loud, completely over the top clothes, like the red coat. I wore that out the other day, and then Nicola came over on Tuesday, so we started her skirt making. I've got Nicola Sloper, skirt sloper, drafted for her. We've made a pattern. She's ordered fabric. She's coming back and we're going to do the skirt. And for the Patreon peeps, you saw the behind the scenes waffle from that day. You know, I was telling her about the red coat and she was like, yeah, she's like, nobody on the island wears those kind of things. And, you know, I do stick out like a sore thumb the majority of times because, like, you know, I'll go out like in day glow colors. I am fully intending to buy some day glow fabric like this and make another Kelly anorak out of it with a lime green faux, this kind of color faux fur trim and lining. It's going to be loud and leery. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't do it to be looked at. I do it because it brings me joy. But yeah, I don't really care what other people think, except that my brain at the back of it every now and again is just like, but do you really know what you're talking about? And it's my own brain that's my worst enemy. And I think loads of people are like that. I'm not saying I'm, you know, like in any way unique or special. Like I'm obviously my own me and things like that. But yeah, we can be so mean to ourselves. Where did I get to? Agatha says, don't worry, I didn't take it personally. I always need to do a full bust adjustment, sway back, full tummy, narrow shoulders, and big biceps on the majority of patterns. So it's habit now to suggest them all. Yeah, I'm really lucky because, like, they say they draft for a B cup, and you know, if I buy bras off the rack, I'm a G. But I seem to fit into the Vogue Butterick McCall's pattern as is. If they do bust cup adjustments, because some of their patterns have the bust cups, you know, the full bust adjustment already done for you, I'm usually in the C category from them, sometimes in the D, but usually the C. And there's a few that I've had to do a full bust adjustment on because they just absolutely were not going to fit me, but it's not very many of their patterns. But then we've established that, like, the numbers and the sizing on these is again just numbers and letters to indicate a certain circumference. It's nothing indicative of high street sizes. And like even high street sizes this day and age are ridiculous because they've morphed and so many companies have gone off on that. I mean, this is a whole rabbit hole that we've fallen down many times before. But yeah. And Ari says, I don't like wet socks or hosiery. At least I have bottles of talcum powder I would put inside of wet boots. Yeah, I'm not a fan of my feet being wet. Olivia says that's a great motto to have. Yes. Mim says, hello, Sean. How are you? Hope you're well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Linnea says, love that text in your diary. Yes. Shida says, I love it when everyone does things differently as long as the end result is right. I can pick and choose what to follow. This way doesn't work, do it that way. Stop. But if this way doesn't work, do it that way. Stop bullying yourself. Yes, my brain needs to stop being stupid. It's having a bit of a moment at the moment, but there we go. Una says, damn, I missed the quote. It says, never think what you have to offer is insignificant. Let's get it correct. Never think that what you have to offer is insignificant. There will always be someone out there who needs what you have to give. Yes, I like that quote. Inari says, I don't mind wet feet, just hate socks. Disgustorama. Darcy says to Inari, fair enough. Catherine says, in the Sean Made Me Do It box, I'm currently hand felling a coat hem facing down to the flat lining so it's invisible finish from the outside. Yay, that's my favourite. In Agatha's Cottage says, oh, if you love dragons, have a look at the Echo Bee fabrics. She had a drop of super cute panels with dragons. Yes, no, I do not need any more fabrics. Did anyone see that the Maid Winsey Labyrinth panels were 99 cents? Because there was one that I didn't have. And then I was just like, oh, if I lived in the States, I would have bought them. I had a Dirty Dancing one as well that was 99 cents. But I don't live in the States, and it was about $26 to have them shipped over. And it's, I mean, if they're 99 cents, of course the shipping is going to be more than the panels, but it was just like, I don't need these. I want them, but I don't need them. Yeah. Darcy says, those who don't mind Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Very good. I like that. Olivia says, I stopped negative talking to myself years ago. I realized what I was saying things too about myself I would never say to anyone else. Yes. Yes. I would never tolerate the stuff that I say to myself to other people. And after having therapy last year, I have another therapy session on Valentine's Day as a checkup. But yeah, after having therapy from the pain clinic last year to give me coping mechanisms to deal with the pain, a lot of those were stuff that we talked about was stuff that I'd already been doing. So we kind of like delved into why our brains are so mean to us and how to combat that. And so I have got a lot of strategies to cope with when I'm being mean to myself, and they do work. But I'm on a bunch of new hormone drugs and stuff at the moment to combat menopause. So I am getting used to new medications, which sucks. And I'm all over the place. And yeah, unfortunately, my brain is doing mean things. But I do have the coping mechanisms of like, you would not talk to yourself like, do you not talk to anyone else like this? You're not allowed to talk to yourself like that, in the Donald Trump voice and all the rest of the things. So yeah. Yeah, it's always work though, isn't it? Sarah says, I find a lot of content creators feel down on themselves because they don't see themselves, their content as fitting in the traditional forms of producing within a society. And that's hard to cope with. And there is a huge chunk of people who make it their business to I mean, there were websites dedicated to this, of being negative about content creators, and you know, some are not the best of people. Some do some shady things, but the majority of them are pretty nice people. That if you just don't like their content, it's fine, and it is a job. I do get a few comments and a few questions from people whenever I say this is my full-time job, and they're like, how? How is it your full-time job? How do you, how, it can't be your full-time job. It's just like, well, no, it is. And given current health restraints, it's the best full-time job that I can have. I mean, I'm sure all of you guys watch Retro Claude and have seen her last couple of videos about that she's having to rethink her content strategy because she is unable to sew because it's giving her severe weekly, like 2-week long migraines. Literally the act of sewing is making her sick. And I love her content, and I'm not a knitter, and I know she's been doing a lot more knitting content recently, but I've been watching everything that she does because I really enjoy hanging out with her. And you know, like she was saying, this is her full-time job because it's a job that she can do within the realms of what she's dealing with, and obviously hers way more extreme than mine. But yeah, I don't think I'd be employable by anyone. The good thing about this is that I can work the hours that I can work when I can work them, and I can work my schedule around that, and I do. So yeah, but people do see content creation as obviously I mean, what, YouTube's nearly 20 years old. It's been monetized for about 15. You know, people do sort of turn around and like, oh, you're just mucking around on camera, like, and the different niches like do different things, obviously, but it's quite interesting seeing people's reaction to like, oh, you're a content creator. It's not like you exactly have a hard job, and I'm not saying it is a hard job, but it is a job, and it is work. It's not easy. And I'm not saying that I'm getting down other rabbit holes here, but yeah, it's very interesting seeing how some people see things. And like I say, there's more than one website dedicated to people just being mean about other people online because they dislike what they put out. And it always amuses me when I get comments from people like that, because it's just like, well, nobody is forcing you to watch this thing. You are the one making you watch this. And if it's making you that upset and that angry, then maybe don't put yourself through it. Maybe, because there's so much out there. If it's making you that upset, then yeah, maybe don't make yourself watch the thing. But again, that probably says more about the person than it does about the creator. But yeah, there was a couple of creators that I absolutely love. There were 3 fashion bloggers that I absolutely love, and I've stopped watching all of them because their styles have changed, their content has changed, and they've not grown up, but they've just grown in different directions to my aesthetic, and so I don't watch them anymore because they don't put out things that resonate with me that I want to watch. And 2 of them, it was just like, they've gone a completely different direction fashion wise, and it's just like, okay, I still want girly, floaty, floral, over the top, loud colors, and they've gone much more streamlined. And one's gone very classic, the other one's gone very, very fashion forward. And then the third one did start making comments that infuriated me and made me very, very much question some of her beliefs and things. And it was silly throwaway comments that she'd made about something. It didn't gel well with me, and it made me annoyed. And I was just like, I don't want to come here to watch something that's annoying me. I want to come here and watch something that I is making me enjoy it, is either escapism or learning something or seeing how somebody styled something. And so I stopped watching. And then the other 2, I kind of just sort of like, they've really gone in a different direction fashion wise. And everybody's style evolves. I was thinking about doing a video, if I can find enough photos of me in my younger days, because I used to wear a lot different clothing than I do now. It was all very short, still probably quite skin tight, and I've seen comments about myself that I like very, very fitted, maybe over fitted clothes, and it's true, I do. But yeah, I was thinking about doing like a style comparison of what I used to dress like and what I dress like now, if I can find enough photos of myself from back then, because I have plenty of footage for what I've got, what I wear now. But I thought it could be quite interesting, sort of like style evolution over the years, because you do change and grow up, and want to do different things. So yeah. Inari says to Darcy, I don't mind wet feet while wearing plastic flip-flops. The water evaporates. Yes, that I don't mind. If it's warm, I don't mind having wet feet, but wet socks, no. Darcy says, because it looks pretty and you want to share. Inari, I live in Florida, so it's always flip-flop weather. Don't mind wet feet and flip-flops either. Yeah. Inari says, I like. April says, morning from Massachusetts. Good morning. Jen Pin says, afternoon, peeps. Did my shopping this morning for a change, as the weather warning for high winds forecast for this afternoon. Wind picking up now with rain. Julie Elizabeth says, it snowed here last week, but above freezing tomorrow. Chilly. Inari says to Darcy, I have to wait until Independence Day in order to wear flip-flops. Besides, I love winter and the snow. It snowed 4 days ago. The snow was light and stuck around for 3 days. Oh, pretty. Darcy says to Inari, I miss the snow. My favorite, where did I get to? My favorite place in the US is Colorado. Give me mountains and snow. Snow. Harley Cleese says that black looks so pretty. It was an amazing coat. I made a frock coat for 2 people out of it. Yeah, it was a very pretty coat. Gin and Pin says, I bought a litre of basic gin and some blueberries. So I'll be making blueberry gin this afternoon. I have to prick each berry for best effects, apparently. Cranberry vodka turned out amazing. Nice. Nimue says, knowing all the ways for finishes and which changes you have made early on is so helpful when you hack a pattern like I did for my shiny green crop top. So glad for all the tricks you taught me. Oh, thank you. Inari says, I reside in a state that practically has everything land and weather-wise. Yeah, you're in Washington State, aren't you? If you're in Seattle, near Seattle. Darcy says to Inari, I've only visited Washington State once and didn't get to see much. One of my bestie friends lives there, and I am going to go and visit her, so I will get to see something of Washington State. Una says, that's because it's normal these days. It's pretty sloppy a lot of the time. Inari says to Darcy, frankly speaking, neither have I, yet I know a lot about Washington State. I should know. I have lived there long enough. Catherine says, dressmaking cup sizes are totally different bra sizes anyway. Yes. Harleycles says, well, that was an epic fail. Just tossed the toast I made with the last of the lemon curd to the dog. Bread was mouldy. Ick. Oh, no. Lala Plusa says, what? I just woke up. Has any coat prep happened yet? Yes, I've written a list of pieces that I need to trace. And I've gotten the tissue paper out and worked out what size I need to trace. Agatha says, the dragon panels in French terry and brushed French terry, perfect for jumpers. I ordered 2, one for my daughter and one for me. I do not need any. Don't make me look. I need the dragons. I need the dragons. Linnea says, I think everyone gets there from time to time. I got an amazing job last year. I get a lot of positive feedback and the managers are happy about what I do, but I still doubt myself from time to time. Yep, brains are evil. Darcy says to Inari, I have friends who live there. One owns a wine bar and the other is a photographer. Ooh, nice. Olivia says, I was just thinking about Retro Claude when you were talking. Like I said, I have a nephew that plays video games on YouTube and other platforms, but it is his full-time job. I think people should move on quietly if they don't like what is being posted. I know, there's so much stuff out there that you really don't have to watch something if you don't like it. It's totally fine. I don't expect everyone to like me, or me to like everything that I see, or everything that everyone else puts out, because it's not my world, it's theirs. But yeah, the ones that torture themselves by watching and then commenting on things that they've not enjoyed are just, why do that? Why do that? Inari says to Rotten Ralph or Darcy, really, what a small world. Then again, living one's life on the internet, the world is even smaller, something I am guilty of. I love how it's brought loads of people closer together, though, because you've got people from Washington State and Australia watching at the same time. I love it. Dad always, whenever I come back from one of these, Dad's always like, oh, how many? Where were they all from? And yeah, the country count, he always loves that. Catherine says, that would be cool, but you might need to restrict comments on my, is that for my previous styles? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, because one of them, like one of the photos my friend put up the other day, bless her, I think it's the first thing on my Facebook. If you go into my actual Facebook, it's the first like tagged picture of me that she'd put up. They're my photos. Oh. Yeah, saying that now I can't find it. Your tagged photos, there you go. Yeah, first tagged photo of me. It was I think that was before New Year's Eve one year. My friend was like, oh yeah, I love how the curtains on your bed are making it look like you've got bunny ears. And then someone else is like, is that a Baywatch bathing suit? Nope, that's an actual dress. I went out in public in that. Do I have pictures of that dress? I think I do. Yeah, there it is. Terrible photo, but yep. That is the world's tiniest dress, and I bought it in 3 colours. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. Darcy says to Inari, I used to be a go outside person, not so much anymore. It's too peoply out there. Yes. Nari says, I love Retro Claude's content. I would miss her. Yes. I'm so glad that she's trying to work out ways that she can continue to do what she does, because I really enjoy her content. Olivia says to Darcy, I agree. Sarah says, so far the hardest part of being pregnant is that my clothes don't fit anymore and my style has to change to accommodate the belly. I've always liked tight-fitting bodices and emphasizing my waist. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine being pregnant. I don't have a phobia of that. I know there is a phobia of that, but I just can't imagine it. But you're going to have a baby, a little baby when so cute. So cute, as long as you can give them back. I don't want one of my own, just saying. Inari says, I actually have an anxiety issue. Sometimes it could be crippling, or I dated somebody with severe anxiety, and it was a struggle. Bless him. Linnea says, one more UFO done. Nice. Agatha says they're the cutest baby dragons ever. You need to stop. You need to stop tempting me. We all know I have the breaking strain of a Kit Kat. Oh no, have you posted? I sent you a prince with it. Oh no. Oh no, you sent me one on Instagram to have a look at. You sent it to me. Let me look at the dragon. Oh, what are you like? Oh my god, they're so cute. Oh, no, we don't want that. No, that's pictures of me. We don't want that. We want this. Stupid phone. Look how cute. It's €6. Breaking strain of a Kit Kat. Self-control. The U2 So says there's a couple of sewing channels I have to watch muted. I just can't stand to listen to their voices, but I'd never tell them this. I don't approve commenting on creators' looks, voices. No, absolutely, absolutely. I like when I was talking about the perfect jacket earlier. I watch her at 175 times speed because I love her voice, and she has a lovely way of speaking, but it's very it's much slower than my way of speaking. So at 175, she sounds it's awesome. I love it, and I love watching her like thought process of how she goes through the things that she does. And I can't listen to anyone else at 175 because a lot of people talk faster than she does. And I like I say, I love her voice, but it's just one of those it's one of those things that it's just like this works. This works for me. So I really enjoy watching her content that way. But yeah, I just don't understand people commenting on other people's looks and voices. Sarah says, now I have to wear underbust dresses or untucked shirts, and it's been hard, and my blocks don't fit, so it's been trial and error of figuring out the best way to make my patterns bigger. I can't even imagine having to do that. Oh, but yeah, Empire line dresses are your friend, right? And Ari says, time's too short to waste on people you don't believe in. Agatha says, I just sent you a screen print. Yes, yeah. Harlequin says, the one time I went to Seattle, I had an amazing pizza at Delfino's in University Village. It was ages ago, but I still have a fridge magnet. The pizza was so good. Nice. Agatha says, she also has kittens, llamas, and horses. Stop it! Stop it. I've bought fabric this month, and I've bought new shoes. I've bought new shoes as well. Nimoy says, some people do make themselves feel better by making others miserable. When I worked the checkout at a supermarket, I got really good at spotting who would be an ass as they walked in the door. Nari says, I like the inspirational quotes in your diary. Yes, me too. Catherine says, a regular Kit Kat or a chunky Kit Kat, though? I am working, definitely a regular, but I'm working on becoming a chunky Kit Kat because I still have, yeah, Agatha says it's not the tiniest dress, so it's definitely not the biggest either. Nimue says breaking strength of a dry spaghetti. Jinim Hin says be strong. Harley Clea says second round toast was much better, even though I had to settle for choke cherry jelly. One should always make toast with the lights on. Yes. Agatha says I had one that had way less fabric and I didn't wear it outside. It was size 6 in the holidays it was 25 degrees, and I was a size 6 and in holiday and 25 plus. Nice. Olivia says, oh my gosh, I speed up channels all the time. Agatha says, I told you. Olivia says, especially people that talk slow. Yes. Agatha says, just sent you the link. Stop it. Laurel says, hello from chilly Chicago, where it's 3 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 16 degrees Celsius. We are up to 21 in here, and it's really nice. It is really nice indeed. You sent me the link. I do not need. You guys, I do not need fabric. Oh, but they are so cute. Oh. Okay, give it a couple of weeks, and the dragon panels will sort of like just materialize in the stash. Don't know how that happened. Right. I've been waffling at you for 2 hours. Thank you very much for listening to me waffle. Um, there was a tiny little bit of coat prep being done. Not a lot, if we're honest, but a tiny little bit. I worked out what size I need to trace, so that's good. And I might get that done this afternoon and get it cut out of calico so that I can sew it together to see what it's going to be like, whether I do need to make any tweaks to it, and then get mum to try it on as well. I will probably need to lengthen the coat so the waist sits at the right place on me, because most of them need to have like an inch of length added, although some Vogue and McCall's ones don't. So we shall try and see, because this is a reproduction of a vintage pattern. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to me and my inner mental processes of how my brain works and why I've got to stop being mean to myself, because yeah. But I'm going to head out now. I have got another video that I would like to try and get edited and uploaded today or tomorrow. It's just a Patreon update, so it's not like a make or anything like that, but it's just, I've had a lot of people kind of like ask about Patreon and what it is, and so it's another video of just like, this is what it is, this is what the tiers are, and so I'm going to put that out. Then I've got, I'm going to try and get my Holston skirt, because that's video's done. I just need to re-record the drafting of the panels in miniature, because I did it once and you couldn't see what was going on because I was stupid and used the wrong colored pen. So I'm going to do that again. So that's hopefully going to be this weekend's video coming up, this Friday or Saturday. I also want to do a flick through my bullet journal, and I also want to do, I've got my Make 9 done, and I've got to try and work out how to present that to you guys, because at the moment it's ridiculously long, and I don't want to bore you guys. So I think I've worked out a way that I want to do it. It's probably going to end up still being quite a long video, but I need to re-film a couple of bits for it. And then my mum and I are going to be working on the 1669 all week, although mum does need Tuesday afternoon off for the church meeting that she has to take the minutes of, and she's going to have Wednesday afternoon off because she goes to bridge, and she's going to have Friday afternoon off because she goes to bridge. So we'll see how that all goes. April says, think of the temperatures as eye candy, just something for think of the temptations as eye candy, just something for eye pleasure. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Pale Lady says, oh, it's been so long since I've been able to make a live. Hi, hello, welcome. Harlequin says, I think one of those printed panels would be really cool as a bag liner. You know it's there every time you open the bag. Agatha says, EcoBee have lovely bag panels too. You guys, stop it. 2024 is the year of the dragon. We now are in the sign of Aquarius. Therefore, the Chinese New Year will be here before you know it. Good luck to all of the dragons. Linnea says, this week is going to be amazing and we're all going to be strong. Olivia says, Jane is a busy lady. I know. That's her taking a week off. Because she was like, oh no, I want to make the coat. And I'm like, you don't have time. So she's taken a week off to do it. So we're going to start tomorrow, but I'm going to get a head start this afternoon. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling at you all. So I hope you've enjoyed the hangout. Sorry it's gone like meandering on different topics and things like that, but clearly that's how my brain works. We know this by now. I will see you all on Sunday next week for another hangout, and I will see the $10 and $15 Patreon peeps on Wednesday for the Zoom call. That's already been scheduled, and it will be Wednesday this week. And then I will see the rest of you at the different videos that I put out. Fingers crossed there will be more than one. I shall see you all then. Bye.